All right. Happy Monday night. It's the last Monday of 2024. I cannot believe it. I was watching a comedy reel and the comedian was talking about getting carded at the liquor store. And he asked the kid behind the counter how old he was. And he said he was 22. He said, "When were you born?" And the kid said, "I don't know, 2000 something." And he said, "Well, don't you think if I was born in 1900 something, I'm old enough to buy alcohol?" And I realized, I was like, wow, yeah, that's like kids that were born in the 2000s are already in their mid 20s. So there's some fun facts to make us feel old as we're entering into the new year. All right. So, what I wanted to go over tonight is we talk all the time about doing your IPAs, right? And we talk about sitting down and doing those either income producing activities, or sometimes we call them impact producing activities, because you're leaving an impact, right? You're building a legacy for your family and you're making an impact. And in doing that, you're building your income. And I've just done a couple coaching calls already. And I said, how many times, and show me by raising your hand, how many times do you sit down to work plexus, right? Like, okay, I'm going to work plexus now. And you sit down, got all my stuff out, got my phone out, my laptop, and then you go, I don't know what to do. Sam's nodding her head. Yes, I know that happens to me. And I've been doing this for 7 years. And that still happens to me sometimes. So we have systems in place, we have sample script messages, but we have something called a winning day worksheet. And Wendy is one of my best friends, so I know she won't mind that I share this, but she's even said to me in different, groups that we've been in, that she's kind of veered away from the winning day worksheet, and she realized she had to go back to it because it was what held her personally accountable to make sure she was doing the things. So I'm going to show you, we have 2 examples of a winning day worksheet. You can choose which one you want to use. It's your choice. And I'm going to then give you some suggestions. So if you watched the Zoom that Bree did on Saturday, she talked about getting a planner. And so I'm going to talk about how you can kind of merge the 2 into your system. Being able to check things off is helpful. Absolutely, Sam. So I'm going to share a screen. Okay, now I'm going to share a screen. Lisa, I see you on my screen. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Okay, perfect. So this is one example of a winning day worksheet. And like I said, we do have 2. I will show you both, but I'm going to use this one. No, I don't want to use a bar to annotate. I'm going to use this one to kind of go over. I like this one because this one's a little more detailed than the other one. And the teacher in me I kind of summed it all into C's. Okay. And I was on with Gina earlier today, and we were doing all the C's. We were talking about all the C's of your IPAs. Okay. So the first thing that you're doing, and this is about 30 minutes. Okay. Doing this is about an hour and a half. Does that mean that you need to spend an hour and a half back to back? No. Maybe you're doing some of it in the morning before you even get out of bed. Maybe you're doing some of it on your lunch break. Maybe you're doing some of it in the evening. But these are the things that you should be doing to grow your business. So the first part is about connecting with people. We're a relationship business. My husband says all the time he hates people. And I'm like, it's a good thing you're not running a Plexus business there, buddy boy, because we love on people. We serve people. That's what we do. So connecting, making sure that you're making those connections. You want to be commenting on people's Facebook posts that are not Plexus people, because that creates engagement. You want to be making new connections, adding new people every day, whether it's one person, two people. Maybe you want to say, I'm just going to focus on a couple people each week that you're going to add. That's fine. But you want to be making those new connections, adding new people. I like that this winning day worksheet has commenting on a post in your favorite group. Lisa, I can see her. She is great at this. She will comment on posts on all these different groups that she's on. And then she sets me into three-way chats with these people. I'm like, how do you know them? She's like, I don't. And she's really, really phenomenal at that. But she has signed up customers that way. And she doesn't even know these people.
The only thing I'm good at.
No, you're good at a lot of things. But so you want to make sure that you're getting out there and connecting with different groups. Content. Part of your IPAs is your content, what you're posting. So you're commenting on people's posts and you're making those connections, but then you're putting out your own content. Your goal is about 2 posts, 1 personal, 1 plexus. Does that mean that you have to do both every day? No. Can you? Yes, absolutely. Okay. I do tell people you want to make sure that you're not posting back to back. Meaning I had a friend who literally would post something and she would post and then 10 minutes later do another post. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. All right. I forgot I can do it on my phone. Somebody was trying to use the one from Bree and the message that link wasn't working. Sorry. So putting out your posts. Now I work in the school system. I work in education. And so I am really careful that I don't post during the school day because people get in trouble for that kind of stuff. So a lot of times I only do 1 post a day because then by the time I get to my post, it's already the middle of the day. Or I try to get it in first thing in the morning and then maybe I'll do another one in the evening. But you want to make sure you're at least posting daily and that you're fluctuating between plexus and personal. The other thing you want to make sure that you are doing, and if you do not follow her, I would say 2 names pop to my head are really, really good with their stories, is Jessica Ward and Ashley Baker. And they are 2 of the leaders on our team. They are phenomenal with their stories. You want to post in your stories. Now your stories, you can post back to back to back.
Detroit.
But you also want to make sure that you're posting your personal and plexus, not just all plexus. One thing I'm not good at is showing your face on your stories. Go live in your stories. People love that. And that's definitely something that I personally am going to work on in 2025. So we talked about connection, right? Commenting on those people, making new friends on Facebook, posting on in a group. Then we talked about content. What are you personally putting out there on social media? Instagram, Facebook. Okay. And then we're making sure that you're responding to those comments. So if you do a plexus post or even a personal post and people start to comment, you want to go and reply back to their comments. Thank you so much. So I just did a post about 2024 was hard for me physically and health-wise. And actually on a family way too. We lost 3 family members this past year. And I posted about it. I was pretty vulnerable and I put it out there. And I've had a lot of people comment and I've just gone back and I've replied back, thank you so much. If I haven't talked to them about how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you had a great Christmas. Respond back to people, engage with people. That's part of the connections. All right, so we talked about connections. We talked about content. The next part, and I like how this winning day worksheet says, let's make money. Because let's face it, doing a post on Facebook is not going to make you money. It may be a start, it may create some engagement, but it's not going to make you money in plexus. What is going to make you money in Plexus is signing people up. And how that happens is because you actually talk to the people. So you have to have conversations. That's the next C. Connection, content, conversations. So now you're messaging people. So what does this look like? I like to say that you're having new Plexus conversations, and then you're doing follow-up. Because I see Lisa, I'm just going to pick on Lisa. I think I reached out to Lisa for like legit a year before she finally said yes.
I think it was 2 years.
There we go. 2 years. So do not get discouraged when somebody says no. I had somebody that just ordered the other month, and I met that person 3 years ago and haven't really talked to her since. And she reached out because she was seeing. So we had a conversation. She started to ask questions. So you need to have new Plexus conversations, but you need to follow up. It takes on average, I think, 8 to 12 follow-ups before somebody is willing and ready to commit or say yes. So new conversations, follow up. Now, you also want to make sure that the people that are signing up, your customers, there's your next C, your customer care, because that's really important. You want to make sure that you are having a system for them. You're adding them to the team page. Are they in a three-way chat with your working upline? That means the person who either signed you up, or if that person is not doing the business, that's okay. I love that there's a space at the table for everybody, whether you want to do the business with Plexus or not. But then the person above that person should be the one that you're connecting with. Bree is not my direct sponsor. She had a friend who moved to New Jersey. That person signed me up into Plexus. And that's how I met Bree. Okay. And now Bree is one of my best friends. So you want to make sure that you're putting them into the systems, putting them into three-way chats, have them in the team page. Okay. Checking in with them. Are their subscriptions set to run? All of that stuff in your back office. And that's a whole other training. But today I wanted to make sure that I went over what you're doing. So we've talked about your connection. We've talked about content, what you're putting out there on social media. We've talked about having the conversations, doing the stuff that's going to get you the money, get you the customers. Loving on those customers, because retention is important. It is not easy signing somebody up sometimes, but you have to make sure that you keep them. You want them to keep ordering and become Plexus lovers too. That's important. So that retention, that customer care is a huge piece. And I'm going to talk about ways that you can use a planner to help with that. And that's going to be one of my personal goals this year, because I will say that is something, an area that I'm definitely weaker in. The last part, I called it commitment to self, because the last part of your IPAs is your personal development. What are you doing to grow yourself? In education world, I don't know if Baker is on, but in the education world, we kind of chuckle at PD. We have our PD days, and we always have professional development, but really it's important to grow, because if you stay in the same place, then you're never going to get to the next level. And if you want to get to the next level with your business, you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And that comes from making sure that you're growing yourself. So there's a couple different ways that you can do personal development. And I think, in all honesty, I think you should be doing all of them, or at least some level of them. Are you reading a book? Leaders are readers. There's the teacher in me coming out again. Leaders are readers. You want to make sure that you are reading a good growth book. We are doing a book study starting in January, and I don't have the book with me, but it's called The Power of One More by Ed Milet. That is part of your personal development. Reading that book or listening to it on Audible. I went out for a walk yesterday because hello, it was 68 degrees and I was loving life. So I went out for a walk yesterday. I put in my AirPods and I listened to the book on Audible. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'll listen to it on Audible. Today I went out for a walk and instead of listening to the book on Audible, I listened to a podcast. So you want to make sure that you're reading, but you want to make sure that you're also listening to podcasts. And if you need some good podcasts to listen to, message me, message in the group chat, the big team chat, and I can drop some ideas in there. But there are some really good podcasts out there. Some by Plexus Jules and some just personal growth. I love Ed Milet, the author of the book. I also like Jamie Kern-Lima. Neither of them have anything to do with Plexus. Oprah Winfrey has a good podcast. Mel Robbins, like these are all really big names that have amazing podcasts to be listening to. Then the third way I like to grow is going to YouTube or even the back office. There are training videos in the Plexus back office that train on the products, that train on systems, that train on different things. And then there's also diamond documentaries in there. Those are amazing. They're short. They're usually no more than 10 minutes, if even 10 minutes. There are sometimes I will go and I'll listen to diamond docs and I'll just have them run while I'm doing the dishes. So when you get to diamond and Plexus, Plexus comes out and they create a documentary on your story. So these are stories of people just like you and me that started from the beginning and worked their way up to diamond, and they're telling their story and they're really inspirational. So that part is your commitment to yourself. Are you currently developing yourself and are you growing? And if you need some ideas for that, reach out and I will absolutely help you. So I'm going to recap and then I'm going to go over how to do this in a realistic way. So we have connection, right? Reaching out with people, commenting on people's posts that are not Plexus people. Content, what you're personally putting out on social media. Having the conversations. Asking them if they want to learn more. Asking them if they've ever heard about Plexus. Following up with the people that you've already asked if they wanted to learn more. Customer care is huge because we don't want to be spinning our wheels every single month and losing exactly what we've put in each month, right? And then commitment to self. So this is one of the examples of the winning day worksheet. And like I said, I like this because it's a little more detailed. The other one is the one that Wendy and I used to use. Do I have it here? Oh. No, hold on. Oh, here it is. I did have it. This is another one. This is a lot more simpler. And so maybe this is what you would prefer. This is, again, interacting with non-Plexus people, commenting on a group post, connecting with new people, building those relationships, okay? Your customer care, your conversations, all of that can go here. And then your commitment to self. This is that personal growth and development. So this one, you can see it's a lot more simple, and this one is more detailed. I like this one because it's more like a check off the box, like Sam had said earlier. So let's talk about how to have that work in a system for you. So there's a couple ways. You can print it out and print out one copy, and maybe you put it into your planner and you tape it to the front cover of your planner. Maybe you want to do a notebook. Some people like to do a spiral notebook. Wherever you want to do it, you're going to tape one of them to your planner or to your notebook. So this way, when you go to sit down to do your IPAs and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. What it was Mina talking about? You go to the front cover and there it is. The other thing you can do, and I've done both, you can print out a sheet for each day and keep them in a binder. I used to do that, and then I would keep like 5 and I would staple them, and I kept those 5 in my planner, and then I put them back into the binder. For me, that didn't work because it was too much in and out, but that's definitely a system that you can use as well. I personally like putting it in my planner. I just ordered a new planner. It's coming on Sunday. I'm going to be printing it out, and I'm going to be taping it into the front cover of that planner. And then when you think about your planner, so let's say, for example, you talk to Susie Smith and Susie says, listen, I get paid on the 15th. Can you reach out to me after that? Absolutely, Susie, no problem. You're going to put a reminder on your calendar on the 16th to reach out to Susie Smith because she got paid yesterday. And without that, a lot of times we don't remember. So your planner is going to come into play for 2 ways. One, it's making a plan of who you're going to reach out to. And 2, it's recording what you did. So I tell people on my team all the time, you should be making a list. I used to make a list every week, and I actually, in my own personal coaching call with Bree, she suggested just make a list a month. And I think that was a huge shift for me. So make one list for the month of people that you're going to reach out to. And then throughout the month, as people are commenting on your post or commenting on your stories or liking your stories, you're going to add those names to your list. And then this way, next month, when you go to sit down, you know who to reach out to or who to follow up with. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and then open it up for questions.